Humph, you're really good at bragging. The demon emperor snorted. How could he not hear the hidden meaning in the divine palace master's words? If not for the fact that he needed the power of the divine palace, he would let him see who was stronger. Alright, let's not talk about the dark forbidden lord. Li Daokong and Li Xianao have been staring at our demon court recently. Previously, Li Xianao helped the demon court resist the heavenly court. Now, they've changed sides. This pair of fellow disciples from the human school have crossed the line. I need the divine palace to suppress them, the demon emperor said in a low voice with a calm expression. The divine palace master said slowly, these two brothers are not simple. If an immortal emperor encounters them, he will definitely lose. Especially Li Daokong, ordinary deity realm mighty figures might not be able to suppress him. Most importantly, their position is unknown. If we help you suppress them, the divine palace will face many troubles. The demon emperor waved his sleeve and snorted. The divine palace can choose any 3 regions in the extreme west. Deal! Your Majesty is indeed straightforward. The divine palace master immediately smiled. What the divine palace needed the most was territory. The territory of the immortal world was much larger than the mortal world. The demon emperor snorted. As for Dao Sovereign, if I kill him, your divine palace will definitely be anxious. How about this? I can spare his life, but if he wants to kill me, he has to pay the price. I want him to stay by my side for 1,000 years, then I will return him to the divine palace unscathed. You can rest assured that I won't use any methods to brainwash him. You won't give up even if the chaotic physique betrays you. I understand this. The divine palace master smiled. Thank you, your majesty. The two leaders smiled at each other and started to drink. The situation in the immortal world changed rapidly. With the interference of the various ancient races, it was no longer a situation where the 4 overlords were on par with each other. However, all of this had nothing to do with Hanju. He was cultivating with all his might. Ever since he learned that Di Taibai was immortal Emperor Samsara, Hanju realized that he couldn't just look at favorability. Favorability was still too vague. Some people's identities couldn't be introduced by the system in a few lines. The mighty figures of the immortal world often had many clones, causing them to have independent identities. 40 years passed quickly. Hanju took another step towards the rank 5 immortal emperor realm. On this day, Di Taibai took the initiative to contact him, concerned about his cultivation. This was not the first time. Di Taibai had often asked about his cultivation situation. In the past, he hadn't thought too much about it and thought that Di Taibai was only concerned. Now, it seemed that there might be another reason. Hanju replied, as usual. It's smooth but not fast. Di Taibai chuckled. If you're not fast enough, no one in the myriad worlds will dare to say that their cultivation speed is fast. How's the situation in Heavenly Court recently? It's alright. The main thing is that the situation in the immortal world is changing. Di Taibai began to tell him about the commotion in the immortal world. The Golden Crow Divine Clan, True Dragon Clan, Vermilion Bird Clan, Qilin Clan, Primordial Sacred Clan, and so on and so forth. More and more powerful races appeared, causing battles to break out everywhere in the immortal world. Not only that, but even the humans began to unite. The various sacred dynasties joined forces and prepared to gather the human race to fight with the myriad races of the worlds and fight for Providence. They wanted to become the overlord of the immortal world after the immeasurable calamity ended. The human race's immortal world. This title was very stirring, making it very easy for the humans to unite. Hanju listened to Di Taibai and pondered. Why did this fellow take the initiative to talk to him about the momentum of the world? What was he plotting? Was he trying to lure him into the calamity? Thinking about it carefully, he could only be considered the successor of immortal Emperor Samsara. There was no reason to harm him for the time being, let alone Di Taibai. Perhaps I'm thinking too much. Anyway, I definitely can't enter the calamity, Hanju thought. Di Taibai suddenly smiled and said, "That's right." His Highness Long Hao performed the most outstandingly in the Immortal Talent meeting and was recognized by the Vice Sect Master of the Chan School. His providence has been increasing. I guess even his cultivation level is the same. You taught him very well. Hanju couldn't help but check his interpersonal relationships. He was shocked. This fellow is already at the early stage Grand Unity Golden Immortal Realm. His talent was truly terrifying. The son of the Heavenly Emperor and the soul of Hao Tian were probably not inferior to the chaotic physique. Hanju smiled. His Majesty's bloodline is good. All right, continue cultivating. I'll look for you in the future. Di Taibai smiled and ended the conversation. After putting down the Heavenly Dao token, Hanju shook his head. He had to hurry up and cultivate. Ever since the immeasurable calamity started, the cultivation levels of his friends in the immortal world had increased. He had heard before that the reason the immeasurable calamity was so crazy was not only because of the competition for Providence, but also because the immortal chi of the immortal world would increase exponentially, causing the cultivation speed of all living beings to increase. How could those immortals who had already reached their limits sit back and watch their enemies quickly become stronger? Thus, the battle became even more intense. Under the purple sky, in a courtyard, Long Hao, Long Shan, Fang Liang, Zhou Fan, Imo Fuzhou, Han Ming, and dozens of others gathered together. Congratulations on obtaining the recognition of the Vice Sect Master of the Chan School, Your Highness. Imo Fuzhou raised his cup and smiled. The others raised their glasses and looked at Long Hao eagerly. Long Hao performed the best in this Immortal Talent meeting. His strength and potential were admirable, and even Zhou Fan was convinced. Han Ming looked at Long Hao with a complicated expression. After getting to know Fang Liang and the others, he understood Hanju a lot more. The genius in front of him was Hanju's disciple. Long Hao had shocked everyone in this Immortal Talent meeting. He suppressed the younger generation of the heavens and became a publicly acknowledged peerless genius. His might shook the world. How strong was Hanju to be able to nurture such a disciple? It seemed that his master didn't lie to him. The difference between Hanju and him was indeed unimaginable. Long Hao laughed. If you want to join the Heavenly Court in the future, feel free to look for me. I'll introduce you personally. He looked high-spirited and had no intention of being humble. After leaving the hidden sect, he finally knew how terrifying his talent was. It could even be described as invincible. The outside world was not as dangerous as Master had said. Of course, Long Hao also realized how powerful the hidden sect was. He could feel the pressure when cultivating there. He became arrogant the moment he left the hidden sect. This was enough to explain the problem. Hearing Long Hao's words, everyone was even happier and continued to praise him. In the courtyard next door, a group of people was also celebrating. These people were disciples of the Jie school, and Huang Zuntian was among them. They had mixed feelings upon hearing Long Hao's laughter. They had gained a lot in this Immortal Talent meeting. However, compared to Long Hao, they were like stars beside the bright moon, barely noticeable. Master seems to be related to the Heavenly Court. Fang Liang seems to have a good relationship with Long Hao. Could it be that Master and Long Hao know each other? Huang Zuntian thought silently. He had been an elder in the Jade Pure Sacred sect, so he had seen Fang Liang. He had always kept a low profile, afraid that Fang Liang and the others would discover him, lest he exposed his true identity. Long Hao and the others' performance made Huang Zuntian believe that only by following Hanju would there be a future. Among the disciples of the Jie school, Huang Zuntian had a low presence and rarely spoke. He had been observing. The descendants of some mighty figures of the Jie school were among the disciples. They were worth befriending and could help him ascend. The white crane forcing him to come to the Immortal Talent meeting made him realize that just the position of Island Master was not enough. He wanted to climb higher. The Immortal Talent meeting was spectacular and could even be recorded in history. This would be the beginning of a new era. Hanju didn't participate in this event. He wasn't interested. His life was only about cultivation. Time flew. 50 years passed. Hanju's cultivation level had been steadily increasing. He was no longer far from becoming a rank 5 immortal emperor. The new inter-sect competition of the hidden sect had already ended. Hanju, the Black Hell Demon Lord, White-Robed Buddha, and Duan Hongchen did not participate. First place was Tu Linger. The ancestral Magus Tower was too strong, the other disciples couldn't break through its defensive restrictions. Next was Murongqi and then Liao. Hanju didn't care about the rankings of the others. He only wanted to remember the top 3. It was worth mentioning that Xu Shuren's ranking was actually quietly increasing. This fellow finally had his Dao heart stirred by the constant competition. He was no longer a slacker and also began to cultivate his mystical power. Everyone was very happy about this. This way, they wouldn't be afraid of being annoyed by Xu Shuren. Only Zhou Minghua felt bitter. He would be suppressed by his master in the future. On this day, Hanju stopped cultivating and took out the Book of Misfortune to do his daily missions. While cursing, he checked his emails. Your grand disciple Fang Liang was attacked by Jia school cultivators, X1342. Your disciple Long Hao has comprehended the Great Tao. His cultivation has increased greatly. Your good friendly Dao Kong was attacked by a divine palace mighty figure, X18. Your good friend Sword God Emperor was attacked by your good friendly Dao Kong and was severely injured. Fortunately, a mighty figure saved him. Your good friend Huang Zuantian was attacked by Jia school cultivators, X47. Your good friend Han Ming was cursed by a mysterious curse. Your Dao companion Xian Qingjun comprehended the true meaning of heaven and earth and comprehended a mystical power. Her providence has increased. The Jia school had begun to become active? Hanju raised his eyebrows. He didn't have a good impression of the Jia school. After all, he had been threatened by their disciples. I wonder how Huang Zuantian is doing there? Hanju thought silently. He was still worried about Huang Zuantian. He was very strong in the mortal world, but not in the immortal world. Xian Qingjun was also in the Jia school, but it seemed that she was doing well. She was rarely attacked, and she had been cultivating diligently. Hanju continued to read the emails. At most, he would complain in his mind. The content of the emails wouldn't affect his life. He had to persevere and cultivate in a low-profile manner until he was invincible. He wasn't even 0 times years old, but he was already a rank 4 immortal emperor. Such speed was definitely the number 1 in the myriad worlds. This meant that he had taken the right path in the first half of his life. He had to carry it out. He couldn't even remember how many friends had died along the way. The path of cultivation was already filled with difficulties. There was a high chance of death. One of the reasons Hanju liked to read emails was to warn himself. Because every time he read them, he would see someone getting beaten up. A month later, Hanju put down the Book of Misfortune and called Dao Comprehension Sword in. Have you mastered the 3rd level of the Heavenly Sword Dao? Hanju asked. Dao Comprehension Sword nodded, then shook her head. I feel like I have, but I also feel like I'm missing something. The 3rd level of the Heavenly Sword Dao was Sword creates the primordial world. Dao Comprehension Sword could create a worldly illusion with a single strike, but this world was not strong. It couldn't bury the enemy. Every time she used this move in the simulation trial, it was useless. Hanju patted the bed beside him and said, "Come here." Dao Comprehension Sword obediently walked over. The two of them sat on the bed. Hanju raised his hand and pointed his index finger at Dao Comprehension Sword's forehead, conveying his imagination of the primordial world to her. Dao Comprehension Sword had too little knowledge and limited imagination. It couldn't be helped. Hanju wouldn't let her go out to train, after all. His disciples were looking forward to the next calamity. After enduring this immeasurable calamity, by the next one, all the disciples of the hidden sect would definitely be immortal emperors. Of course, Hanju hadn't revealed this goal to them yet, so as to avoid giving them pressure. The mountains and rivers were continuous, and the sky was high without clouds. Two figures stood at the peak of a mountain. They were Li Daokong and Li Xianao. There was a terrifying figure guarding the surroundings. With a glance, there were only a few tens of thousands of figures. All of them emitted a terrifying aura that shook the world and swayed like flames. Li Daokong smiled. Junior brother, can you still hold on? Compared to Li Daokong, who looked like he had never fought, Li Xianao's clothes were torn and his hair was slightly messy. Li Xianao snorted. You didn't fall. How can I not be able to hold on? He immediately prepared to fly into the sky to fight, but Li Daokong stopped him. Li Xianao looked at him suspiciously. Li Daokong smiled and said, You can stop now. Didn't you want to see my true strength? Li Xianao frowned impatiently. He knew that his senior was about to start posturing again. Clang! Li Daokong pulled out the sword at his waist. In an instant, sword light illuminated the world. He held his sword in one hand and pointed it at the sky. As his gaze landed on the tip of the sword, his smile gradually turned arrogant. Watch carefully. This is the strongest sword of the human school. With this strike, all will die. Li Daokong laughed impudently. His robes fluttered as his aura continued to increase. The entire mountain began to tremble as countless rocks rolled down. Li Xianao looked at his senior in surprise. As if thinking of something, his expression changed drastically. Could it be? Impossible! Li Xianao widened his eyes as he stared at him. Beads of cold sweat broke out on his forehead. In the Khanate cave abode, Hanju opened his eyes. Dao Comprehension Sword was still in the primordial world that he had created. Hanju looked up and saw the sky of the netherworld. The dark clouds in the sky surged violently as if a storm was about to arrive. Master, not good. The Sword Dao River is surging. It seems to be collapsing. Liu Bei's voice sounded in his mind, his tone anxious. Hanju frowned. He immediately jumped into the Sword Dao River. The once calm Sword Dao River twisted violently. The advancing sword cultivators became blurry and flashed. Hanju clearly felt an extremely terrifying pressure enveloping the Sword Dao River. Someone is using a mystical power? Hanju's expression changed slightly. Somehow, he could feel the terror of that Sword Dao mystical power. It was stronger than all the mystical powers he had encountered before. For some reason, Hanju suddenly thought of the figure walking at the end of the Sword Dao River when he raised his Sword Dao mystical powers. Hanju gritted his teeth and said, Leave the Sword Dao River with me first. The Sword Dao River could collapse at any time. They would definitely be severely injured if they stayed here. Liu Bei nodded in relief. The two of them immediately vanished from the Sword Dao River. They came to the void. Liu Bei asked nervously, Master, could that be someone using some kind of Sword Dao mystical power? Hanju nodded. Probably. The other party's cultivation is ridiculously high. Who was it? He had such a cultivation level. To be able to force him to use a mystical power, his opponent must be very strong. Hanju suddenly felt that the immortal Emperor Rome was too weak. As he sighed, 3 lines of words suddenly appeared in front of him. Detected that you have encountered the strongest Sword Dao below the Heavenly Dao. You have the following choices. 1 times, immediately ascend and fight for Providence. Prove that you are the strongest sword immortal. You can obtain a mystical power inheritance, a great Dao fragment, a heavenly Dao spirit stone, a supreme treasure, and a random natural treasure. 2 times, cultivate in a low-profile manner and ignore the strongest Sword Dao. You can obtain a supreme treasure. Seeing the choices in front of him, Hanju chose the second option without hesitation. Going against the strongest Sword Dao? Wasn't that courting death? You chose to cultivate in a low-profile manner and obtained a supreme treasure. Congratulations on obtaining the Heavenly Envy Cloud Silk. Heavenly Envy Cloud Silk, Defensive Deity Realm Numinous Treasure. It is created by the Kane divine cloud and the heavenly Tao merit. It can withstand all attacks below the deity realm and can withstand an attack from an ordinary deity realm cultivator. Defensive deity realm numinous treasure. Not bad, not bad. Hanju smiled in satisfaction. He didn't take out the heavenly envy cloud silk. After all, Liu Bei was still beside him. The two of them began to wait. Fortunately, the mysterious sword Dao pressure did not last long. When everything returned to normal, the two of them returned to the sword Dao river. Hanju was stunned. The sword Dao river had already collapsed, forming remnant clouds everywhere. In the dark and mysterious space, it looked tragic and beautiful. Liu Bei was also shocked and could only look at him. Hanju pinched his fingers to deduce that his Providence was not damaged. He had already taken over the sword Dao river. If it was destroyed, his Providence would definitely be damaged. He observed carefully and quickly discovered that the sword Dao river was repairing itself. The remnant clouds were slowly approaching each other. It's fine. It'll be fine soon. Continue guarding here. If you encounter danger that you can't defeat, you can escape at any time, Hanju said and disappeared. After receiving his permission, Liu Bei heaved a sigh of relief. Although he already had the body of the victorious fighting Buddha, his personality was still very similar to Hanju's. He was very afraid of death. After his essence soul returned to his body, Hanju noticed that Dao Comprehension Sword was still comprehending the primordial world, so he took out the Heaven and Earth Primordial Sword. The heavenly envy cloud silk was a green scarf that was as thin as a cicada's wings. It didn't stir up any wind when it was waved. Hanju let it recognize him as its master and wrapped it around his body. The heavenly envy cloud silk seemed to have a spirit and didn't bind Hanju tightly. It fluttered slightly and a cloud appeared, covering his figure, making him look extremely mysterious. Hanju was satisfied. This thing was very impressive and could hide his true appearance. Not bad. To awaken, Hanju entered cultivation. He checked his emails while cultivating. That mysterious sword cultivator had caused too much commotion. He didn't know if he could pry from the emails. Hanju continued reading and caught an email. Your good friend Sword God Emperor was attacked by your good friend Li Daokong and died. Could it be Li Daokong? He seemed to be a sword cultivator. Hanju frowned. His heart ached. He still had a good impression of the Sword God Emperor. Back when Zhang Guxing was captured, it was the Sword God Emperor who had passed the Sword Dao River to him. He didn't expect him to die just like that. Hanju checked his interpersonal relationships. The icon was gone. Hanju fell into depression. Some of his good friends were gone before he even met them. This feeling didn't last long. Hanju quickly adjusted his state of mind and cultivated seriously. Divine Palace, in the dark hall. The Divine Palace Master sat on a throne. There were hundreds of figures standing in the hall, and the atmosphere was extremely oppressive. He had an extremely dark expression. His hands gripped the armrests tightly as the terrifying killing intent dissipated from his body and filled the hall. How many immortal emperors have died this time? The Divine Palace Master asked in a low voice. A man in silver armor said carefully, 19 times immortal emperors, and the 28 times divine emperors accompanying them were also killed. Fortunately, their origin is still in the Divine Palace. Everyone's eyelids twitched. They knew that the two from human school were very strong, but they didn't expect them to be so ridiculously strong. The Divine Palace Master asked angrily, all of them died under Li Daokong's sword? Yes. Boom! The Divine Palace Master suddenly stood up. A terrifying pressure erupted, causing hundreds of people to kneel down. Li Daokong! Human school! Very good! I'm really angry. Send a message to all the Divine Emperors in the Divine Palace. Kill Li Daokong and you can become the Divine Palace's Deputy Palace Master. I want Li Daokong dead at all costs. Tell the Divine Emperors to attack together. The Divine Palace Master roared. No one dared to refute. It had been a long time since the Divine Palace had suffered such a huge loss. Demon Court. The Demon Emperor, who was cultivating in the hall, had a strange expression when he heard the information from his subordinates. Li Daokong is actually so powerful. No wonder the human school dared to enter the calamity. This is troublesome. Does the Divine Palace hate me? The Demon Emperor muttered. He swore that he really didn't want to trick the Divine Palace. If the Demon Court lost so much, he would definitely go mad. The little demon in the hall said with a trembling voice, "It's said that Li Daokong only used one strike to kill dozens of experts from the Divine Palace. News of this battle is about to spread throughout the immortal world." The Demon Emperor narrowed his eyes and muttered to himself, "One sword strike, this fellow is probably already half-step into the Zenith Heaven realm." He suddenly felt a headache. Apart from the Divine Palace, Buddhist sect, and Heavenly Court, he still had to face the human school, the ancient races, and the human race. The other two schools of the Tao sect were also stirring. The situation of the immeasurable calamity this time was far more complicated than before. The Demon Emperor cursed silently. Did these guys agree to fight for Providence together? All of them were as well-behaved as turtles in the previous calamity. Why did they appear this time? It must be that damned Dark Forbidden Lord. He must have instigated it. The Demon Emperor's eyes burned with anger when he thought of the Dark Forbidden Lord. Hanju, who was cultivating in the cave abode, suddenly opened his eyes. For some reason, he felt that someone was cursing at him. Tao Comprehension Sword had already left the cave abode, preparing to communicate with the other disciples about the Sword Tao. Hanju was about to continue cultivating when the Heavenly Tao token suddenly burned. He connected to his divine sense. Li Daokong has become the #1 sword immortal in the immortal world. His Majesty wants to know. After knowing about this, do you still want to acknowledge Li Daokong as your master? His Majesty can ask for you, Di Taibai smiled and said excitedly. How pretentious. He really seemed like the Heavenly Emperor's lackey. Hanju asked curiously, who was Li Daokong fighting with earlier? That sword aura even affected the Sword Tao River. Di Taibai replied, Divine Palace. He killed dozens of immortal emperors and deity realm existences with a single strike. Hanju's eyelids twitched. So impressive? I want to become his disciple. Hanju almost blurted out. Then, he became vigilant again. It was the immeasurable calamity now. With Li Daokong acting so ostentatiously, he might not survive it. Enough now. If I acknowledge Senior Li as my master, I'm afraid I'll embarrass the Heavenly Court. I'll practice more. Kid, are you afraid that you will die if you follow Li Daokong? Brother, we're on the same side. Tell me honestly, do you think he won't? That's true. It's fine if Senior Li survives. I'm afraid of being targeted by his enemies. Not only that, but I'll definitely be a burden to him. That's not good. I'll let down Senior Li's appreciation of me. Also, thank His Majesty for his kind intentions. Their conversation was short. Hanju put down the Heavenly Tao token and frowned. He sighed regretfully. If it wasn't the immeasurable calamity now, he could still acknowledge Li Daokong as his master. At this moment, a line of words appeared in front of him. Li Daokong's favorability towards you has increased. Current favorability, 4 times stars. What the heck? How did Li Daokong's favorability increase? Hanju was stunned, but then immediately understood. This fellow was right beside Di Taibai. Fortunately, Hanju was cautious enough and flattered him. If he told the truth, he would probably offend Li Daokong. Damn, this cultivation world is too scheming. If I'm not careful, I might offend a mighty figure. Immortal Emperor Samsara actually didn't remind me. Could it be that he wants to set a trap for me? Hanju frowned. On second thought, if he were Di Taibai, he wouldn't be able to say that Li Daokong was beside him. Sigh. How fortunate. Hanju was very unhappy. If he was strong enough, why would he need to listen to Li Daokong? He should hurry up and cultivate. He had to break through to the rank 5 Immortal Emperor realm first. At the same time, Heavenly Court, Numinous Palace. The Heavenly Emperor sat on the Emperor's throne. There were 3 people in the hall. They were Di Tai Bai, Li Daokong, and Li Xianao. Li Xianao smiled faintly. I didn't expect a junior to dare to reject you. I'm different. If I take a fancy to someone, I won't be rejected. Li Daokong glanced at him and said, You have poor judgment. You only found mediocre people. You! That new disciple of yours, what's his name again? Huang Jihao? He's too mediocre. Compared to this kid, he's like a star compared to the moon. An ant compared to an azure dragon. Impossible, stop bragging. Huang Jihao has the sword, heart, and determination. He will grow up sooner or later. Junior, oh Junior, your judgment is still the same as your cultivation level. Li Daokong, you're too much. Seeing that his fellow disciples were about to fight, the Heavenly Emperor had no choice but to say, Since you're fellow disciples, why fight? Li Xianao snorted and turned his head away. Li Daokong looked at the Heavenly Emperor and asked with a smile, Your Majesty, the Divine Palace must hate me now. Do you really want to take us in? The Heavenly Emperor smiled. The Heavenly Court was supported by the Tao sect, to begin with. You and I share the same origins. We should unite against a common enemy. As for the Divine Palace, they have only risen after one immeasurable calamity. There's nothing to worry about. Li Daokong continued, The 2 of us need to fight for our Providence. We can help the Heavenly Court last until the end, but we will monopolize the providence of the Sword Tao. In addition, I hope that the Heavenly Emperor will agree to all the resources we need. Of course, we will take action if the Heavenly Court faces a powerful enemy. Di Tai Bai frowned slightly. The Heavenly Emperor smiled. Deal. Li Daokong smiled. Li Xianao curled his lips and thought to himself, What a dirty deal. Time passed slowly. 70 years passed quickly. Hanju was already very close to becoming a rank 5 Immortal Emperor. He could break through it at most 10 years. But he didn't forget the daily mission that happened once every 10 years. After chasing Tao Comprehension Sword out, he took out the Book of Misfortune and started cursing the Heavenly Tao Buddha. The door to the underworld has opened. If the spirits of the netherworld want to fight for the providence of the Heavenly Tao, all of you can enter my underworld. We will prosper or perish together. If I become the Heavenly Emperor, all of you will be immortals. A domineering voice suddenly resounded throughout the netherworld. Hanju remembered this voice. It was the voice of the King of Hell. Wow! How dare he! He actually wanted to become the Heavenly Emperor. Hanju decided to report him. A month later, the curse ended. Hanju took out the Heavenly Tao token and contacted Di Tai Bai, asking him to pass the message to the Heavenly Emperor. If Di Tai Bai hid it, it would be fine. The Heavenly Emperor already saw the netherworld as his enemy. These things could be considered. In the future, when facing the Heavenly Emperor, he could ask if Di Tai Bai was hiding anything. If he was, Hanju would reveal that he was Immortal Emperor Samsara. If Di Tai Bai didn't hide anything, it meant that Immortal Emperor Samsara was very likely to be the Heavenly Emperor's subordinate. He couldn't directly report it or it would attract suspicion. Although the Heavenly Emperor treated him very well, Hanju didn't trust him completely. Everything was about benefits. If Hanju threatened the Heavenly Court or the Heavenly Emperor himself, the Heavenly Emperor wouldn't be merciful. It didn't matter if he saw through everything and knew that if Hanju was invincible, he would not mistreat the Heavenly Court. No matter what, the Heavenly Court had indeed done something for him, especially the Heavenly Emperor. After reporting the King of Hell, Hanju put down the Heavenly Tao token and continued cultivating. 10 years went by quickly. Hanju finally broke through to the rank 5 Immortal Emperor realm. His soul transformed further, far exceeding its previous strength. His dermic powers surged endlessly and almost reached an endless amount. As he consolidated his cultivation, he opened his attributes panel. Name, Hanju. Lifespan, 3 times, 855 times 745 times, 999 times, 999 times, 999 times, 999 times. Race, immortal, stellar primordial body. Cultivation, rank 5 reincarnation immortal emperor. 745 times trillion years of lifespan. Too impressive. Hanju was extremely pleased. Even after spending so much lifespan, it still continued to increase exponentially. I'm indeed the Dark Forbidden Lord, the nightmare of all living beings. When he reached the deity realm, how exaggerated would his lifespan be? He could continue living as long as he wasn't killed. I can't enter the calamity. He silently chanted this mantra every day. Hanju spent another 3 years completely consolidating his cultivation. In the following year, he comprehended the Sword Dao and raised each Sword Dao mystical power to the extreme. However, in the simulation trial, he still did not improve. Apart from the Heavenly Emperor, the rest were all insta-killed. Against him, unless he moved with all his might, he couldn't escape the outcome of being insta-killed. Wait! Hanju suddenly remembered that when the 9 Nether Purgatory opened and Xuanmingdi appeared, the King of Hell also appeared. He had checked their cultivation. He almost forgot about them. He arranged them into the simulation trial. Hanju lasted for 5 minutes before he lost to Xuanmingdi. He lasted for 3 minutes before he was killed by the King of Hell. Hanju almost became depressed. Against these two, all he could do was dodge. Hanju's pride almost immediately vanished. Sigh, I'll curse the Demon Emperor and the Heavenly Tao Buddha to vent my frustrations. Otherwise, my mental state will be imbalanced and it will be difficult for me to cultivate. Hanju thought and took out the Book of Misfortune. During his breakthrough, Dao Comprehension Sword had always been outside the cave abode, so he could curse without worry. I'll use 10 billion years per person. I don't believe it can't achieve anything. Hanju cursed the Heavenly Tao Buddha first. This fellow would kill the Heavenly Emperor, after all. He had to make arrangements first. Hanju cursed as he stared at his attributes panel. 5 days later, his lifespan began to decrease. 10,000 years. 100,000 years. 1,000,000 years. 10 million years. 100 million years. 1 billion years. Hanju immediately stopped. He timed it perfectly and deducted 1 billion years of his lifespan. Immortal emperors had such a strong reaction speed. Hanju wiped the blood off his face and checked the emails to search for information about the Heavenly Tao Buddha. Because of your curse, your enemy Heavenly Tao Buddha experienced turbulence in his devil heart. His Buddhist Tao has weakened and he can't control himself. Hanju was stunned. What did this mean? Was the weakening of the Buddhist Tao referring to the cultivation level of the Heavenly Tao Buddha or a mystical power? What could he not control? Hanju couldn't understand, but he was still very happy that something was wrong with the Heavenly Tao Buddha. Next was his good brother, the Demon Emperor. Immortal World, West Heaven. In a dark cave abode, the Heavenly Tao Buddha sat on a mat. His expression changed as a strange demonic aura appeared between his brows. His entire state was extremely strange. He suddenly opened his eyes. His eyes were like devils, sinister and terrifying. Damn it, I lost control of the devil heart. What should I do? Heavenly Tao Buddha frowned, his heart filled with anger. Dark Forbidden Lord? He really didn't understand how he had offended him. In terms of power, the Buddhist sect was not as strong as the Heavenly Court and the Demon Court. It was even inferior to the Golden Crow Divine Clan's fearlessness. Besides, he wasn't the only Buddha in the Buddhist sect. Why was the Dark Forbidden Lord targeting him only? Could it be that he had offended him before? Heavenly Tao Buddha thought carefully. There were too many people, so he couldn't confirm it. He lost control of the devil heart and no longer dared to face the Buddhist sect. If it was exposed that he was a devil and news spread, the Buddhist sect would become the target of everyone in the immortal world. He could only endure. Heavenly Tao Buddha sighed and began to suppress the devil heart. Demon Court, Demon Emperor Palace. The Demon Emperor was talking to a handsome man. This handsome man wore black armor and had a strong figure. His black hair was wild like a black dragon twisting above his head. This handsome man was the son of the Demon Emperor. His name was Void Emperor. Father, don't worry. I've been hiding for 5 million years. It's time for me to show off, the Void Emperor said confidently. The Demon Emperor smiled and said, "You're the most hardworking among my sons. You have been in seclusion for 5 million years. No demon can match your will." Void Emperor laughed. His gaze was filled with anticipation. His potential was outstanding, to begin with. He had been in seclusion for 5 million years and his cultivation was extraordinary. He felt that he was already a mighty figure and could fight for great Providence. The Void Emperor smiled and asked, "Father, is there anyone you need me to deal with?" The Demon Emperor was about to reply when his expression changed. "The curse! Damn this dark forbidden lord!" The Demon Emperor had no choice but to circulate his dermic powers to suppress the curse. The Void Emperor noticed his abnormality and couldn't help but ask with concern, "Father, what's wrong?" The Demon Emperor didn't hide anything and said in a low voice, "The Dark Forbidden Lord is cursing me again." Dark Forbidden Lord? The Void Emperor frowned. After entering seclusion, he had learned the name of the Dark Forbidden Lord from the demons who served him. In the current heavens, the Dark Forbidden Lord was the most mysterious and terrifying existence. He was secretly manipulating the immeasurable calamity and using the curse technique to play with the various powers. Such a method was unprecedented. In the past, many mighty figures cultivated the Tao of curses, but no one had relied on curses to influence the myriad worlds like the Dark Forbidden Lord. "Father, I will definitely find the Dark Forbidden Lord and avenge you," the Void Emperor said angrily. In his opinion, the Dark Forbidden Lord was definitely not strong. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to use such a despicable method. The Demon Emperor said, "You can leave first. Familiarize yourself with the current demon court. I will arrange a mission for you later." "All right." The Void Emperor took a deep breath and left. The moment he did, the Demon Emperor couldn't hold back anymore. He erupted with his powerful aura. The dermic powers in his body surged and resisted the invasion of the curse. Inside the Khanate cave abode, Hanju bled from his 7 orifices, but his eyes were clear as he stared at the attributes panel in front of him. He was calculating the number of the lifespan deduction. 800 million years. It was unknown if he could spend 1 billion years to successfully curse the Demon Emperor. About an hour passed. When Hanju's lifespan decreased by 1 billion years, he immediately stopped. His lifespan was still at 745 times trillion years. The 2 billion years he had spent wasn't even enough to reduce the number at all. Hanju raised his hand and wiped his face. The blood disappeared. He checked the emails to see if there were any updates on the Demon Emperor. However, there was nothing. Hanju was stunned. The Demon Emperor had been very fierce recently. He was clearly the leader of the faction who had been cursed by him the earliest. But now, he was even stronger than the Heavenly Tao Buddha. Hanju wasn't disappointed. He took it as a failed attempt. Perhaps in the next 100 years, any random curse would cause something to happen to him. Hanju began to heal his injuries and recovered to his peak several days later. "It's a rare occasion that I broke through. Should I use the derivation function again?" Hanju thought silently. "Let's try it." Besides cultivating, there was nothing else to do. Hanju thought, who is the strongest in this immeasurable calamity? 1 billion years of lifespan will be deducted. Do you want to continue? A billion years? Forget it. Hanju couldn't be bothered to continue. After all, the strongest person had nothing to do with him. He sent a voice transmission to Dao Comprehension Sword and allowed her to enter. Then, he began cultivating. Outside the cave abode. After Dao Comprehension Sword heard Hanju's voice transmission, she stood up and smiled. Master's breakthrough is over. I should go in. With that, she turned around and walked towards the cave abode. The Black Hell Demon Lord clicked his tongue in wonder. Sept Master is too talented. I feel like he breaks through every 200 times years? The Black Hell Chicken smiled proudly. Of course. Among the myriad worlds, only our master is the most talented. The others nodded. They were all very talented, but no matter how hard they cultivated, the difference between them and Hanju kept increasing. Speaking of which, I can only think of one example like Grandmaster, Moronchi suddenly said. Zhou Minghua asked curiously, who? Moronchi smiled. I think I said before that Grandmaster is very similar to the Dao Ancestor. The first time the Dao Ancestor made a name for himself, he was the strongest below the Heavenly Dao. From the looks of it, Grandmaster has to wait until he's invincible before coming out. Duan Hongshan frowned. It had to be said. They really seemed alike. After chatting about the Dao Ancestor for a while, they continued cultivating. This topic had appeared more than once in the long years. They were no longer excited, only amused. In a hall in the immortal world. Wearing a veil, Xing Hongxian sat on a chair and listened to the elders talk about the recent events in the immortal world. The immortal talent meeting has already ended. There's indeed a person who has appeared out of thin air and has the potential of a peerless genius. Long Hao, right? I've also heard that even the vice sect master of the Chan school praised him non-stop. It's said that Long Hao is the son of the heavenly emperor. It's not surprising for him to have such talent. Sigh, the bloodline of immortals is indeed stronger than ours. There are also unparalleled prodigies in the human race, but they're still far inferior to Long Hao. I heard that he moved the heavenly Dao in the immortal talent meeting. His comprehension ability is very exaggerated. Xing Hongxian had a strange look in her eyes as she listened to the elders' discussion. Long Hao? Wasn't that her husband's disciple? Why had he left the Cultivate diligently become Immortal Mountain? Xing Hongxian couldn't be mistaken. There might be more than one person called Long Hao, but there was only one Long Hao who was the son of the Heavenly Emperor. Hearing that he was already famous throughout the world, the complacency Xing Hongxian had built up immediately vanished. Her potential in this life was indeed not bad, but compared to Long Hao, Li Yao, Chu Ling'er, and the others, she was still far inferior. At this moment, the patriarch suddenly looked at her and said, Inger, you just went to the imperial palace not long ago. Did the imperial concubine mention what the sacred dynasty plans to do next?